What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be looking at more draft prospects for this upcoming NBA draft, and we're going to be looking at another guard. Now, instantly, a lot of people will look at that and just turn off the video. They don't want anything to do with guards whatsoever. And as much as I understand that, I feel like it is very important to try and look at every prospect that we can in order to discuss what's best for our future. And guards have to be involved in that situation. We shouldn't be excluding certain people because of the positions that they play, especially if you're looking at the best available. Regardless, I'm going to talk about the strengths and weaknesses and what I like about him. I'm ultimately as well going to be looking at why we shouldn't be looking at specific needs and more looking at what we should be looking at for the cornerstone piece and the best available and stuff in between. But before we get any further, if you like the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls and Devin Carter, and would you like to see the Chicago Bulls draft him in this upcoming NBA draft with the 11th overall pick? He's rumored to go around around the middle of the lottery, maybe late lottery, stuff of that nature, so there is a chance he could be off the board by the time that we get to him, but I think there's also an equally fair chance that he'll be available. So would you like to select him with that 11th overall pick? So what do we need to know about him? He's 6'2", weighing 193 pounds. He's 22 years of age, so a little bit of an older draft prospect at the end of the day. But another key thing that I want to bring to your attention is that he has a very good wingspan and standing reach at 6'8", wingspan, 8.2 reach, which is quite phenomenal. And he has a very good vertical leap at 42 inches. So for someone that is as small as 6'2", for a guard especially, he has a very terrific max reach, vertical leap I should say, and therefore that could potentially help him in most areas. So there's a lot of good things to like about him, but you also need to know his stats also. So let me quickly pop that up for you right now, ladies and gentlemen. He averages around 19.7 points per game, 8.7 rebounds with 3.6 assists, shooting 56.3% from the field, my apologies, and 37.7% from the three-point line. Apparently he takes 6.8 three-point attempts, so he's making around 2.5-ish, mathematically speaking. I don't know the exact amount, but again, he's making roughly around 2 to 2.5 threes per game if he's taking about 6.8 of them and stuff of that nature. Regardless, those are quite interesting and good stats, ladies and gentlemen. So instantly what screams out to me from those stats, for a 6'2" guard, he seems like he's a phenomenal rebounder, getting 8.7 rebounds per game. I mean, I think that's pretty impressive. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, that might not be impressive to you, but for someone that is probably going to be on the smaller side, if you put him on this Bulls team, he will be the shortest player on this Bulls team, most likely. That's a pretty good amount of rebounds to get, and that vertical leap is definitely going to help, as well as being the fact that he does play bigger than he does. One thing that's often been talked about him is that he's a very good defender for his size, and that goes to show with some statistics as well. He averages 1.8 steals per game and 1 block per game in terms of the college level. He played for South Carolina and Providence, ladies and gentlemen, in obviously the different years that he was playing in college. So I think that's pretty good. I mean, look, some of the best guards in the NBA in terms of blocks average around 1 to 2 blocks per game. Guys like Dwayne Wade was an elite shot blocker for a guard. He wasn't necessarily the tallest guard you'll ever see, but timing, athleticism, all of that will play a factor. And if you can have a good vertical leap and you could be highly athletic enough, and you also have the willingness to go and get a block shot, that will definitely help in your favor. And the fact that he does play a little bit bigger than his size, and the fact that he is a willing defender and is considered an elite defender as well, those are really good things to have under your cap. Another good thing about him is his three-point shooting. I really do like a player that can shoot around 37% from three. That's a little bit above league average, if I'm not mistaken. And it's beautiful to have that type of player on your team, especially from the guard positions, because, again, you're assuming it's not just catch and shoots, right? But ultimately, with a player like him, it's going to help in the three-point shooting department. We do need three-point shooting. We do need a little bit of a different shot profile on this team as well, which is something he could potentially provide. And I do like the fact that he has a little bit more experience at the college level also. Again, 23, 24, mainly 23, that's like, okay, you expect it to be ready now. When you're looking at the 19-year-old, you're looking at raw prospect with the potential to grow and go even further and beyond. You're looking at someone around 22 as the middle of the pack. Someone that still has that potential, but also someone that should make an instant impact straight away. So that could be something that I'm interested in, because I've said this for a while, and you guys probably know this about me already. I am looking for someone that can come in and make an instant impact on this team. Someone that can come in and change our system within. Someone that can be that cornerstone piece. And ultimately, someone that can make an instant impact can be someone you can look at as that cornerstone piece. Hopefully, at least. So with that being said, all those positives attached to his name, what are his weaknesses? Well, I think a key weakness here will be potentially his height. Now, why is his height a potential weakness? Well, as athletic as he may be, that doesn't necessarily change the fact that since he is 6'2" and he's going to be taking on some elite guards, especially if there are teams that like to switch, like the Bulls do, he's going to be switched on to forwards, potentially even centers, and he'll be outmatched and outclassed in those departments. And that is something that we need to keep a keen eye on. He could be very good guarding guards, but unfortunately, especially for the Bulls, when you have multi-guard systems everywhere, you don't always get to guard guards. So when you're 6'2", you could potentially be exposed on the defensive end just purely for that alone. As good of an athletic reach he may have, a vertical leap he may have, if you're going to take on someone that's bigger and stronger than you, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be scoring over you. So that's a big problem for me, at least, and that's a key problem that you can probably see, I guess, once he gets to the NBA level. But again, it's all about coaching, right? Stephen Curry is not exactly the best defender you'll ever see out there in the world. But the difference is Steve Kerr knows how to hide Steph Curry's weaknesses on the defensive end, while also seeing Steph Curry work tremendously hard on the defensive end also, so he doesn't show his weaknesses that easily. And coaching needs to be a big factor in that. So if you do get a 6'2" guard that has potential to have liabilities on the defensive end, even if he is an elite guard at the basic things like point of attack defense, steals and blocks, keeping up with opponents, you might have to hide the other weaknesses that he have, which will be the undersized factor, the strength factor, and things that could easily be fixed, in my opinion. That's what I'm trying to say, with the right coaching. The second thing we need to talk about is, according to the scouting reports, he is seen as more of a scorer than a playmaker. Now, this might be not necessarily a big deal to you, because most of the point guards in this league, at least the top echelon of point guards, knows how to score and play make. Luka Doncic knows how to score and knows how to play make. Stephen Curry knows how to score and knows how to play make. Guys like Chris Paul, he's an elite playmaker, but when he needs to, he knows how to score. That's, to me, is completely fine. But then you have to begin to ask the question, okay, if he's seen as more of a scorer than a playmaker, and he's not necessarily going to be an elite playmaker coming into the league, and that's something he's going to have to work on each and every single year, is he better playing the point guard position or the shooting guard position? Is he someone that should be a combo guard, or should we just put him purely as an off-ball guard? And if your answer to that is we should put him in the shooting guard position and make him an off-ball guard, and give Kobe White, for example, the responsibility of being the ball handler and the playmaker, do you really want a 6'2" shooting guard out there in this team at this point in time? It's very rare to have shooting guards of that size. So you kind of are limited in where you can play him as well, and how much of an impact he can make in those certain positions. So again, with the right coaching, the right game plan, the right strategy, that could be a valuable asset. So would I take him with the 11th overall pick? Well, again, this goes back to, should we be drafting for needs or for the best available? I think he could potentially be the best available with 11. But a lot of people do want needs. Here's why I don't want needs. AK has publicly said that this team needs to change, right? You might be saying, okay, we're changing. We're going to change the team and go and get specific needs. Who's to say that those needs that we're going to go and get from a change won't instantly impact something else that we might need? There's always going to be needs in a team. You get specific needs, there are going to be other needs the next season that we're going to have to fulfill. You're not going to get a perfect team out there. So all those people are saying, we don't need another guard. We don't need another guard. Well, what happens if we trade the majority of our guards for forwards and centers, and then we're going to end up needing a guard? Better yet, what happens if we trade his long-lost brother, Devin Carter, that's a joke by the way, and you have space for another guard now? What happens if you do something like that? I don't specifically care what position he plays. Ultimately, if you're looking at just needs, of course, we don't need another guard. But changes are going to be made. You have to expect changes that we may not like could also come into play, which is why I'm open to guards in the NBA draft, and I'm just going to have to trust that the front office knows what they're doing. I'll see you in the next video, ladies and gentlemen. I would take him with the 11th overall pick, by the way. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.